I want you to imagine something for a moment. Picture a man walking into a room full of people. Everyone is talking, laughing, moving around, but his eyes are drawn to one woman across the room. He notices the way she moves, the energy she gives off, and something inside him reacts, almost instinctively. He doesn't think about politeness, about whether it's appropriate to look, or whether it's right to feel that pull. It's automatic. His body responds before his mind can even catch up. And here's the thing. Most men spend their whole lives pretending this doesn't happen, trying to over-explain or suppress it, when desire has always been this raw, instinctive signal built into us. I remember a conversation I had with a friend once. He said to me, "I don't understand women. I try to do everything right, and still they don't feel the way I hope." And I realized right then he was looking for desire in the wrong place. Desire doesn't live in logic. It doesn't grow from being perfect or explaining yourself clearly. Desire lives in the nervous system, in energy, in contrast, in authenticity. As I thought about it, I said to him, "You can't talk your way into being wanted. You can only live in a way that naturally draws it out." Welcome to Pamela Talks, where we dive into the real truths about attraction, desire, and human connection. Today, we're going to explore how desire works, why it can't be forced, and what truly makes someone magnetic in the eyes of others. I'm going to be very honest about something, even if it makes some people uncomfortable. When a man looks at a woman, his first reaction doesn't start with manners or moral reasoning. It begins with the body, and yes, that includes her chest. Not because he's perverted or immature, but because male brains are wired to notice certain signals instinctively. Ignoring this truth is just lying to yourself. Women understand this perfectly. They don't test whether a man notices them. They test whether he is comfortable with his instincts without over-explaining, apologizing, or trying to suppress what he feels. Many men fail here because they disconnect from what they truly feel. The moment a man tries to sanitize his desire, replace natural presence with politeness, or overthink his instincts, he loses something essential, not respect, but attraction. Most men think they can make women want them through logic, effort, attention, and constant availability. That's why it often fails. They believe that if they are kind, attentive, and emotionally open, desire will naturally follow. But desire is not earned through correct behavior. It doesn't respond to explanations or contracts. It bypasses the rational mind completely, going straight to the nervous system, automatic, unconscious, and visceral. You can be stable, intelligent, emotionally mature, financially secure, and even talented, yet still watch a woman's interest fade without understanding why. It's not because you did anything wrong, it's because you triggered the wrong signals. Many men mistake where attraction lives. They assume it's a conscious choice, a rational judgment. But attraction happens before thinking, before language, even before a woman can explain why she feels something. By the time words are used, her body has already made the decision. Men get stuck trying to argue with logic while desire is acting somewhere else entirely. Here's a crucial point. Respect and desire are not the same. You can earn respect through reliability, consistency, and moral alignment, but desire doesn't work like that at first. Desire responds to tension, contrast, and polarity. Without these, attraction never fully lights up. That's why so many men are confused. They follow all the advice: listen, reassure, clarify intentions, and remove uncertainty. But in doing so, they remove the very conditions desire needs. Desire needs space, ambiguity, and the chance of loss. When everything is predictable and explained, the nervous system relaxes, and relaxed systems don't crave. Availability is another trap. Being constantly reachable or always ready can seem generous, but psychologically, it signals something else. When a man always adjusts his schedule, prioritizes her time over his own, and stays accessible at all times, it removes tension. It removes mystery, and desire doesn't grow in a space where everything is known and secure. Polarity, contrast, and the unknown are what make the nervous system respond. Without these, attraction fades quietly. Understanding these patterns doesn't make a man manipulative. It makes him aware of how desire actually works, which most men overlook completely. You are not showing devotion when you are constantly available. You are showing low scarcity. The human brain, male or female, assigns value based on scarcity. This isn't just a social idea, it's neurological. Things that are rare feel valuable, and things that are abundant are often taken for granted. When your attention is unlimited, it loses significance. Not consciously, but subconsciously. Her mind might admire you, but her body disengages because desire isn't about admiration, it's about activation. Comfort is reassuring, but early attraction doesn't grow from comfort. It feeds on stimulation, tension, and unpredictability. Predictability makes interactions neutral, and neutrality is deadly for desire. Many men misunderstand what masculinity really is. They think being safe is the goal, but safety without tension is invisible. True masculinity is grounded presence. It's being able to stand in your impulses without collapsing into guilt or overcompensation. It's feeling desire without apologizing for it, being interested without chasing, and staying calm while acknowledging what you feel. That's why noticing a woman's body matters so much. If a man suppresses his instincts or overcompensates with politeness, he signals internal conflict. Women sense this instinctively. They feel he is not comfortable with himself, and lack of self-ease is deeply unattractive. Attachment dynamics also play a big role in desire. When a man pursues anxiously, constantly seeking reassurance, over-explaining his intentions, or trying to remove uncertainty, he can trigger avoidance in the other person. Desire requires freedom, the ability to move towards something without being trapped. When a man's neediness dominates, desire suffocates. Neediness isn't about wanting connection, it's about needing validation. Once a woman feels her presence is necessary for your emotional stability, attraction shuts down. Not because she's cruel, but because biology associates neediness with weakness. Strength, independence, and self-possession naturally draw desire. Another factor many men overlook is social validation. Women are sensitive to how a man is positioned socially, not in terms of money, but desirability. A man who is engaged, wanted, and comfortable around others automatically signals higher value. This is unconscious, not jealousy. If others recognize him, it suggests he has qualities worth noticing. Contrast this with a man who isolates himself emotionally around one woman. As his world shrinks, his routines, interests, and social life narrow, and her attraction gradually fades along with it. Desire thrives where life is full and dynamic, not limited and constrained. Desire does not grow in small containers, it needs space to expand. The solution isn't manipulation, it's alignment. There's a big difference between pretending to be busy and actually living a full life, between delaying replies artificially and responding when you genuinely have time, between acting indifferent and being truly centered internally. Women sense the difference instantly. It's not moral honesty that matters, it's energetic authenticity. True masculine alignment shows in practice. You don't drop your plans for last-minute changes, not to punish, but because your time matters. You express interest clearly without overdoing it. I'd like to see you again, not tell me when you're free. I'll adjust. You are comfortable with pauses, silence doesn't threaten you. You guide interactions instead of interrogating. You can tease lightly, disagree without tension, and sometimes end conversations first, not as a tactic, but because you have somewhere to be. Each of these behaviors signals the same thing, self-containment, and self-contained men are magnetic. Many men believe explaining themselves better will spark attraction, but desire doesn't need words. It needs embodiment. You can't talk someone into wanting you. You position yourself in a way that allows desire to emerge naturally, without manipulation. Here's the summary. Desire is not negotiated, it's triggered. It doesn't respond to moral effort. It responds to signals like scarcity, contrast, presence, self-possession, and social gravity. None of this requires trickery, just honesty with yourself. Suppress instincts, and you leak insecurity. Chase validation, and you signal need. Abandon your life for approval, and attraction dies. The paradox is simple. The more complete your life is, the less you chase desire, and the less you chase it, the more naturally it appears. Reflect strategically. Where have you over-explained, over-invested, or replaced presence with politeness? That's where the change begins. And that change has nothing to do with women. It's all about you. Desire is deeply connected to presence. It's not something you can force or negotiate. because it exists in a space beyond conscious thought. When a man is fully present, comfortable in his own body and mind, he signals strength and independence without saying a word. Women pick up on this automatically, not through reasoning, but through subtle cues, posture, tone, energy, and how a man handles pauses or uncertainty. The more you can own your space, control your attention, and stay grounded in who you are, the more natural desire becomes. Trying to explain, justify, or overcompensate always dilutes it. Another key part of attraction is contrast. Desire thrives when there is tension and unpredictability, when a man is fully himself without bending to someone else's expectations. Life should be rich, full, and independent, full of interests, passions, and social connections. This isn't about being distant or playing games, it's about having a life worth coming back to. A man who has boundaries, goals, and emotional stability naturally inspires desire because he isn't desperate for approval. Desire flows toward energy, not dependency. Neediness and overavailability kill attraction more than anything else. When a man constantly seeks validation, rearranges his life to please someone, or overexplains every feeling, he signals weakness, even if he has the best intentions. Biological instincts recognize this instantly. Women aren't calculating this consciously. They simply feel it in their nervous system. On the other hand, a man who balances attention with space, who is clear and confident in his intentions but doesn't chase, triggers curiosity and longing. Desire grows where there is tension, freedom, and the sense that something valuable could be missed. Attention and presence must also be balanced. Giving too much attention, over-texting, or constantly seeking validation signals neediness. On the other hand, completely withdrawing or being emotionally unavailable can create confusion or disengagement. The key is measured presence, being engaged when appropriate, but never at the expense of your own life or priorities. Scarcity, in this sense, is not manipulation. It is the natural effect of living a life that is full and vibrant. Desire grows where there is value, contrast, and freedom, not in a space of constant availability. A man's life outside of the relationship plays a huge role in attraction. Interests, hobbies, friends, and personal goals add depth and energy. Women are drawn to men who have a life worth noticing, who are engaged with the world and not solely focused on them. Isolation, dependence, and over-prioritizing another person diminish desire over time. Living fully with independence and purpose creates natural tension that stimulates attraction. Scarcity and autonomy do not make a man selfish. They make him magnetic because he demonstrates that his life has intrinsic value beyond approval. Finally, embodiment is essential. Words alone do not create desire. It is expressed through action, energy, and presence. A man who embodies his desires, stands in his own confidence, and navigates life without over-reliance on external validation naturally triggers attraction. Desire flows toward strength, self-possession, and alignment, not toward neediness or over-explanation. The more a man is complete within himself, the less he needs to chase, and the more desire emerges effortlessly. Understanding these principles allows men to shift focus from trying to control desire to cultivating themselves, living fully, being present, and allowing attraction to arise naturally. Desire also responds to how a man handles challenges and tension. Life is full of unpredictability, and a man who remains composed in stressful situations signals stability and strength. Women notice this instinctively. It isn't about being unemotional or detached, it's about being grounded. Calmness in uncertainty communicates that a man is reliable, confident, and capable of navigating life on his own terms. This creates a sense of security while also keeping desire alive because it balances stability with emotional energy. Attraction is drawn to a man who can handle pressure without collapsing or overcompensating. Freedom is another essential element. Desire requires the feeling that connection is chosen, not demanded. When a man chases relentlessly or seeks constant reassurance, he removes freedom from the dynamic. Attraction dies where there is pressure or need. Giving space, honoring boundaries, both your own and hers, creates the breathing room desire needs. Women are naturally drawn to men who can navigate closeness and distance with ease, who allow interactions to flow without controlling them. Tension, freedom, and space are not manipulations. They are natural outcomes of a man living fully and authentically. Confidence is expressed in subtle ways. It is in the way a man carries himself, speaks, and makes decisions. It is in owning his desires without apologizing, expressing interest without chasing, and leading interactions without overthinking. Confidence signals self-possession and stability, which are magnetic qualities. This doesn't mean arrogance or dominance. It means authenticity and groundedness. Women sense this immediately, not through reasoning, but through energy. Confidence amplifies attraction because it communicates that a man is secure in who he is and what he wants, without relying on external approval. Social energy also shapes desire. A man who is engaged with life, who has friends, passions, and experiences, carries a magnetic energy that naturally draws attention. It's not about flaunting or proving anything. It's about having a life of substance. Women are attracted to men who have context, depth, and movement outside the relationship. A life that is vibrant and expansive naturally creates contrast and scarcity, which are essential for desire. When a man focuses only on one person or isolates himself emotionally, attraction diminishes. Desire thrives where there is vitality, growth, and independence. Ultimately, attraction and desire are reflections of internal alignment. A man who is in touch with his instincts, honors his priorities, and expresses his energy authentically creates the conditions for desire to emerge naturally. It cannot be forced, negotiated, or explained. It must be embodied. The paradox is clear. The more complete and independent a man is, the less he needs desire, and yet the more it comes to him. Understanding this allows a man to focus on himself, his life, his growth, and his alignment, while desire flows effortlessly as a natural consequence of living fully and authentically. So, to wrap this up, here's the truth. Desire cannot be earned through overthinking, constant explanations, or trying to be perfect. It flows naturally toward a life that is full, a man who is grounded, confident, and aligned with his own instincts. When you stop chasing validation, stop overcomplicating interactions, and start living in a way that feels real to you, attraction begins to emerge effortlessly. It's not about manipulation, it's about presence. It's not about proving your worth, it's about embodying it. Remember, the more complete and independent your life is, the less you need desire. And yet, the more it shows up. Focus on your energy, your growth, your life, and allow attraction to happen naturally. Stay true to yourself, honor your instincts, and live in alignment with what matters to you. That is where real desire begins, and that is what makes connection feel effortless and magnetic. If you found value in this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an insight. And if this resonated with you, comment the word magnetic below. I want to see who's ready to step into their true energy.